So let's circle back to the Wrestle for Autism event. It's Sunday, the 3rd. Probably we might not be able to have this. Maybe we can have this out prior. It'd be a good goal if we can get it out prior to that. What specifically, again, just highlight again what's going on when it comes to the classes that are going to happen at that tournament for official.
Well, first of all, the Wrestle Against Autism, amazing event. Jeff Sittler, a fellow official, he's a guest of the show, Technical Explanation Show. He does a heck of a job. He's got a real job. He's an official, and then he does this. And all of the money goes towards helping families with autism. A lot of what they do, they'll help them with changing some of the things they might need to do to their house to help, the individual with autism cope better. Some of it is for like dogs, like not training, like sensory dogs or like support dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And those things cost like $67,000, I think, to train.
Wow.
And some people are like, well, why can't you train them like how they do with dogs for police officers? Well, every person on the spectrum is different.
Yeah.
So they have to train the dog. If it's a kid that gets angry, and when they're angry, they bang their head against the wall, they need to train the dog to get in between the kid and the wall and calm them down.
Yeah.
So the money and the cause, it hits home for me. My mom is an intervention specialist. Mm-hmm. So, and I have some family members too that, are on the spectrum. So it's really, really cool. But as far as the officiating part, Fred Feeney's been doing this. He does it twice a year. I hope he keeps doing it because it's an amazing asset. But he does the Are You a Duck class. And so what we'll do is everyone will get together on Friday and start going through the class, probably the first 4 rules. Okay. And we'll go over, it's not looking at slideshows and reading out a book. Like, we're going to go and watch video and say, what's that. Then we go through the next 4 rules. And it sounds funny. There's like 8 to 10 rules or whatever in the rule book, but everything falls under them. So, so then they'll go through that then on the second day. And then on Sunday, they are going to be on the mat with tenured officials. Okay. So they're going to be being evaluated, get some opportunities to make the calls, work on their mechanics, being in the right position, anticipating where the action is going, that sort of stuff. And then a week from then, they get to take the test on Zoom, so they don't have to travel again. And the test is an open book test. Huh. You get, and you got to, get, I think, an 80% or higher, and you're good. And then you have some more evaluations and stuff. But really what they're trying to do is, the first time I took my class, I was a senior in high school. I did it with my dad, who was still coaching, so God bless him. I don't think he missed very many rules meetings because he always wanted to learn the rules so he could learn how to bend them.
Right.
Like, that is him.
Yeah.
But they've really condensed this, and it's, it's certified by the OHSAA. You can get it done really quick, take the test, and then you just have to check off some more boxes as far as getting evaluated and stuff. Then you've got your, you can do junior high, and biddy.
And you mentioned how many people?
28. Otterbein, our gracious hosts, thank them. They limited it still because of COVID. Okay. So usually there's not a number, like we could add 100 or whatever. Okay. So we had to cut it off at 28. They said 30, but we have 2 instructors, okay. Dawn and Fred. So hopeful that next year, because they do this in the fall and the spring, that we can replicate this and do an officials class, but one that's led by a female and one that's led by a male, and you can pick which one you want. Right. But there's crossover anyhow.
Right.
But sometimes it's going to be all females and all males, or if you're a male and you want to take the female, whatever. Yeah. But the idea is to give Dawn some visibility, because let's face it, she's amazing. She called the match at the Covelli Center for Olentangy, and right before
Gettysburg. Yep.
Yeah, right before that Penn State Ohio State. Yep. So she's really, really good at what she does. And this is going to be her first time being an instructor, and she's going to get better, and we're going to get more female officials, and we're going to get more female instructors, and we're going to build off of this. You asked earlier, what's the OIC working on? Well, one of the things I keep talking to them about is whatever tournaments we do that are not like state series tournaments, district, state, or if we ever get back to sectionals, whatever, like how can we do a class for 2 days leading up to that event and get the new officials on the mat with tenured officials and do this and just bake it into what we do, so we can just keep adding officials. And I would encourage other, schools that have tournaments, that, aren't the, Brecksville Invite or, Ironman or something like that, where you can give opportunities and still have tenured officials, but have some people get some mat time. I would encourage them to think about how they could do that. Or how can I get newer officials to do wrestle offs for me? Or my preview or my JV matches, just start thinking a little bit differently than how you have in the past, because that's what it's going to take. These new officials are going to need mat time, just like a new wrestler needs mat time, because you can't learn how to react until you learn how it falls. And, oh, if I would have lifted my right hip, then this would have happened. Then I would have, knee pounded up, whatever. Same thing with officials, they need the mat time. And unfortunately, how officials, like right now, when you become an official, they're like, go do biddy, right? That's the absolute worst thing to do, because one, the pay's less, and two, there's more parents there, and there's more coaches that are parents, and they're brutal. They're absolutely brutal. So we're saying, hey, here's this new thing. Thanks for becoming an official. We're going to throw you to the wolves right away.
How many reversals and how many they're scoring all over the place.
That's the biggest thing, is letting things we call burn, right? So holding the points until the two's established, like with grade school, right? Like, oh, that could be two, but if I hold it, it might be two the other way, so sometimes they're like, well, that's when you hear two from the crowd, right? Well, they're just letting it burn to make sure that it settles. And so that's another thing a lot of people don't know. But if I had my way, I think new officials should be starting with junior high or JV, and then go down and do the biddy to learn that scramble wrestling and learn how to get in position faster. Then go to varsity, but don't start with the most cantankerous crowd, right? And the most matches, the longest day, sometimes they're half mats. Try to stay in position on a half mat with little kids. You don't know, so it's just it makes it, in my opinion, makes it really rough on them right out of the gate. But we've been doing that for a long way, but I'm talking to some people. We'll see what we can do.